Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. Not long now until the furious one Tyson Fury will step through the ropes once more and resume his professional boxing career on June 9th. So after a 2.5 year hiatus, what can we expect? And perhaps more importantly, what's reasonable to expect when he takes on 39-year-old Tyson Fury in Manchester? And despite all the bravado and big talk, the fact that the Gypsy King has been matched with a career cruiserweight with a padded record, it does tend to suggest Frank Warren, he wants to give Fury every opportunity, one, to win, but every opportunity to get some rounds in against a relatively low-risk opponent. And after being out so long, that's exactly what he needs. He needs rounds. So when I hear people say Fury's going to bang Fury out in a couple of rounds, I just think, well, that's all a bit counterproductive, isn't it? Fury himself says he needs rounds. He wants the rounds. And from all accounts, Fury is a relatively durable guy. He survived, a full fight with Manuel Cha, so he's got to have some durability about him. And that will be in part one of the reasons that he's been selected to be this return opponent. The other is he's a low-risk opponent, plus he's a cruiserweight. And until Fury gets in the ring, there are question marks. Question marks about what has abusing his body, what's that done to him? What is the length of time out of the ring? What's that done to him also as a compounding effect on top of the abuse to his body? Question marks around his fitness and stamina. They need to be answered. And question marks about how rusty or otherwise he's going to look. Obviously, we will find out on June 9th, or we'll get a taste of it on June 9th. And I'm sure there's going to be some scoffing at these questions saying, Tyson Fury, greatest of all time, lineal champ, blah, blah, blah. And they will point to some training footage that's been posted by Fury himself to social media, which shows him looking good. But we have to remember, these clips are designed to wow, designed to make him look good. And in many of them, he's actually ducking or weaving, knowing where the pads will be thrown or where the foam noodle is going to be thrust. Recent examples of guys who have had carefully curated social media accounts but ultimately failed to deliver. I'm sure you can think of a few yourself. They include the likes of a Chris Eubank Jr. and of course more recently in the heavyweight division, Lucas Brown. He was posting all sorts of stuff showing how his training was going, talking it up. And then after the fight, after he was beaten so badly, Brown basically said he wasn't even really trying in training. But his social media account, it showed differently. So that in itself, it's a cautionary tale about getting sucked into some of these clips and really sort of believing in where someone is really at. So despite Tyson Fury's assurances that he's better than ever, because this is what he's saying, I need to see it for myself. I really do. I need to see him do the rounds against a live opponent, someone who's throwing something back at him that's not telegraphed, that he doesn't know where it's coming from. Someone who's going to actually test him a little bit. And ultimately, this is what this first fight back is. It's a small test. And until he's back in the ring, until he's actually walking the walk, all the talk in the world, it's cheap. And we also know it's in part designed to sell some tickets. But I guess the question is, what do I think good looks like in the context that this is his first fight after 2.5 years out? Well, a win by any means for starters, but that's a given in this situation. He hasn't been set up to fail, and if he did fail and was upset, it would well and truly be time to hang it up for good. But we know he's not going to get upset. He's going to get a win, and if he looks good for decent stretches, if he's able to use the ring well, use his 85-inch reach, show some snap on that jab, show us decent mobility and decent fitness. To me, that sounds like a pretty good night's work for a comeback 2.5 years out. As long as we see more good than bad, surely that sort of signifies a successful comeback. It is a comeback after all. And that's why I'm saying, let's keep the expectations in check. I mean, there seems to be some sort of reimagining of who Tyson Fury is since he's been out. A reimagination of his style and what he used to do. There seems to be a quarter of fans now that seem to think Tyson Fury was some sort of swashbuckling KO artist who's going to return on June 9th and lay Fury out with the first punch landed. I mean, we're not going to see that. We know Fury is a massive 6'9" lump. He knows how to utilize his ample natural advantages with his great boxing ability. He's never really been blasting guys out. Rather, he's working them out and then boxing their ears off. But I did have to laugh this week at some of Fury's responses on social media to the likes of the Klitschko's and also his main rivals Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. He's really proved, and I'll get to some clips now, that he hasn't lost his penchant for trash talk.
Vitaly, you say I'm the trash talking champion. Yes, I am. And it worked against your brother, didn't it? Because he didn't throw any punches, did he? Because he couldn't. Because he's useless. Yes, he couldn't do any good with me, so it mustn't be that bad, must I? And Vladimir, keep talking about a man who beat you, please. Go and lay down, will you, you big old Ukrainian dosser? He keeps talking AJ up because AJ gave him a 50-50. Talk me up, the Gypsy King, who you couldn't land a blow on, and stop being a big sore loser and admit the truth. The truth hurts, but be a man. Man up. Tell the truth, Vladimir. You was no good to me, because you're a big old predictable dosser. Big Vlad goes to bed dreaming of being like the Gypsy King. Only he could dream about it. He even tried copying my boxing style in the AJ fight. But it didn't work. Because you've got to be a G and you've got to have the confidence to pull it off. It's a sad story, Vlad. You got your ass kicked. Played with. It was the easiest fight of my life. I can't sleep at night knowing that people think AJ's better than me or Deontay Wilder's better than me. They are from my era. I'm going to separate them from the senses. I'm going to hit AJ with 6 left hooks in a row. Bomb Squad, coming for you, baby. Let me tell you, you may have thought I've been about in the past, but I'm more determined than I've ever been. I'm going to destroy all of you. Let me tell you, and if there's any cruiserweights or light heavyweights out there that want to move up into my division, you better get it done, because I'm smashing through everybody.
And before I go, let's look at a montage of Tyson Fury's transformation from the past year or so. It's the last time I'm going to be able to use this one. Here we go.
Right, we've just finished training. Brutal session. Look what Billy's done to my face. Hi, this is Tyson Fury, former undisputed heavyweight champion of the world.
Both are. Yep. Yes, yes, sprinting. Sprinting. Get up there. Get up there, then. Get up. Get up there, then.
To know my plan now, brainstorm, change the plan. I just set myself a goal of beating the great Joe Lewis's record of 25 title defences.